Well, it's almost the end of the year, and boy, what a year it's been. So many power paddles have come to the market, so I wanted to do my personal top 5 power paddles of this year. And just for clarification, these are my personal opinions. No company has paid for a spot. All of these decisions were made for my personal playtesting this year, while also factoring in some outside elements such as paddle certification and drama. With that out of the way, let's jump into it. To start this list off, I'm putting the Chorus Fire at the number 5 spot. This paddle just released, but I think it deserves a top spot. The Fire comes in 3 shapes, giving the customer plenty of options for their preference, as well as coming in at an extremely low static weight. This is especially unique on the EX model, as we typically do not see elongated paddles with this low of a static and swing weight out of the box. Matt, the owner of Chorus, did this intentionally to allow greater customization while still allowing faster maneuverability. I highly recommend using perimeter weighting on this paddle. I put about 4 grams alongside each side of my EX model. With this setup, my serves and drives felt great, the spin is top tier, and the feature of this paddle that I do not think is garnishing enough attention is the pop and deflections. Almost every ball above the net is an easy put away, as well as it having very fast pop on my counters. I think this is one of the best options for singles on this list, as this paddle has a unique layer of fiberglass which really helps with ground strokes. But one of the Fire's weaknesses is in doubles, as this paddle is one of the hardest to control of the group. Coming in the number 4 slot is the Gearbox Ultimate. Gearbox released a more refined version of their infamous Pro Power this year. The Gearbox Pro Ultimate, Elongated, and Hyper were welcome additions to the power category. Both of these paddles offer great power with a very unique feel from Gearbox's patented SST core, as well as their edgeless designs. The Elongated has a higher swing weight, which did cause it to not be as popular, but the new standard-shaped Hyper has helped solve this issue. Between these two models, I feel Gearbox hit a home run and delivered on a paddle with great power and spin while improving the sweet spot over these paddles' predecessor. The one annoyance with these paddles is they do have a break-in period in which the paddle will loosen up and gain more power. Now, while this might sound great, this also can cause these paddles to lose quite a bit of control. Coming in at number 3 on this list is the Joola Gen 3S. I really wanted to give the Joola Gen 3S the number 1 spot this year. Joola absolutely hit a home run with their initial release of the original Gen 3s, which was rumored to have done around 100,000 in sales in just the first couple months. However, those paddles did end up getting delisted, and a lawsuit is still ongoing between Joola and USAP. But to stay on topic, we were eventually left with the Joola Gen 3S. This was my go-to paddle for a good amount of time this year, alongside the Mod TA15 from Joola. But the Gen 3S is much more durable, and the Mod TA15 does tend to break and become non-conforming. The 3S has great control on drives and serves, while it feels like you are pocketing the ball. The touch and resets felt so natural to me with this paddle that they almost felt automatic over time. And lastly, the power is right in line with the top of the market, but still being controllable. So why isn't this paddle number 1? Well, because of the drama that Joola has gotten themselves into this year, this paddle has also got caught up in it. The Gen 3S is the only current UPAA approved paddle, and it is not USAP approved. And if you're confused what that means, I have covered this in some of my previous Joola videos, but a quick summary: the UPAA spun up as a new governing body in pickleball to try to compete with USAP. This occurred after the lawsuit between Joola and USAP, and consequentially, it has brought some confusion to paddle certification on the market. But also, this does mean it is possible that not every tournament or club will be accepting of this paddle. Now, the UPAA stamp may be more common and widely accepted in 2025, as more brands will go to the UPAA for certification, but for now, I'm putting this paddle at the number 3 because of the limitations for tournament play and its uncertainty. Speaking of drama, coming in at number 2, the Ronbus Ripple, which seems to be the best-selling paddle that is not officially out yet. Now, I know you may be asking, how can I include a paddle that is not officially out yet? And the main reason is, the Ripple has made huge waves, pun not intended, in Facebook groups, Reddit, and YouTube comment sections. And that impact, packaged with this paddle's performance, is my justification for including this paddle in this list. Now, I have been quite critical of the Ripple in my podcast and partially in my initial review. However, what Ronbus has been able to create is truly remarkable. The Ripple is a top 3 hardest hitting paddle on the market, has top tier spin, amazing control, all while having an amazing sweet spot. All the praise that I just gave the 3S at the 3 spot, the Ripple does incrementally better for cheaper, assuming you can get your hands on it. The issue I still have with this paddle, and the growing concern as the release date keeps getting pushed back, is will this paddle ever actually get a full retail release as it currently sits? Some revisions were made recently, including removing the waves in the face of the Ripple, which was where the name originally came from. The newer paddle also seems to hit even harder out of the box than the original beta that many have been playing for months. Whether the Ripple should be included in this list or not is still a fair question, but as I mentioned, since so many people have played and raved about it this year, and since there is still no official word about this paddle becoming delisted, I decided to put the Ronbus Ripple at the number 2 spot. Now, for the number 1 paddle of 2024, I chose the Paddletek Bantam TKO-C. And to me, it's pretty simple. Is this paddle better than the Ripple or the 3S? Not necessarily, but you know what I can guarantee about this paddle? The TKO-C is way more durable, has no lawsuits, no questions about being delisted, and it's USAP approved. All of this while still having upper level power, great spin, and good control. The only drawback to the TKO-C is the sweet spot is very average. It's not as forgiving as a Gen 2 or a Gen 3 paddle, but with a little perimeter weighting, the sweet spot can be improved. Paddletek showed that you don't have to reinvent the wheel to deliver on one of the best paddles of the year. They changed their cord to have wider cells, upgraded to high quality raw carbon fiber face for the first time in their lineup, and through their Bantam line, they released a bunch of shape options across all their model types. I applaud Paddletek on their success this year and the lack of controversy. And that's why the Paddletek Bantam TKO-C is my number 1 power paddle of 2024. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on the best power paddles of this year. I also hope this video helped provide some value as we navigate the ongoing flow of new paddles coming to market. If you have played with any of these paddles or feel another paddle should have been included in this list, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.